As we shift away from Scald, who lies in a pool of his pride, we see a young Satyr Rogue living with her mismatched family of street urchins and con men. Will she fall to their fate, or will she discover something deeper in the chaos? This week on We Together, Brikka and the Seer of the Stone. You ready?
Sure am.
So, we are going to start in the Southside of the block. The Southside is known to be the most decrepit, worn down part of the block. The buildings all partially derelict. They have boarded windows. There's tags everywhere from all kinds of gangs. A lot of people who have addiction issues lining the streets. It is, for all intents and purposes, a slum. However, it is great camouflage for people who don't want to be seen or don't want to be heard from. And currently, as you and the circus, your surrogate family, are looking for a new place to call home, you have found yourself squatting in a broken down, just absolute shit show of a house. And the voice that is now piercing through your skull is that of your surrogate father, Frank, as he is pacing up and down the house. I don't know, Brikka. I don't know. You said you'd have a job for us by now. It's been 2 weeks. We're running out of cash.
Frank, you guys just give me a minute. All right? It takes fucking time.
It takes time? We've been here for 2 fucking weeks. The union's gonna be crawling up our ass any day now.
How would you do it without me? You got any better ideas?
Fegula. And he just like clocks his feet, like clop out of the room as he's a satyr. As you're sitting there kind of just like flustered, you get on your HUD a call from an unknown number.
So I open up the number and I'm like,
Swipe.
Yes, hello, this is Brikka speaking.
That code switch is crazy. So you hear on the other line. Is that what the fuck you talk like now? You hear a familiar voice. One you haven't heard in quite some time. Zephyr. The tabaxi you grew up with.
Oh, fucking Zephyr! How you doing?
I'm doing good, girl. How are you?
You know, Frank's up my ass like always.
Like fucking always, but maybe I got something for you that might get him off. I got a job.
Tell me about it.
It's a little, it might be a tough one, but at the end of the day, I think we can do it.
I got this handled. What's
All
the
right.
deets?
I'll send you the information. I'm a little preoccupied right now. I'm not going to be able to help you guys with this, but, you know, family first. I thought I'd pass it down.
Good looks, brother. Good looks. I'm so happy to hear from you.
Same, Brikka. And take care of yourself, okay?
You too. You too. We'll talk soon.
All of a sudden, through your feed, you start getting instantly hit with all this information. In the Southside, there is a restaurant. In that restaurant, it has been noted multiple times at this point that there's been a sighting of a gray-furred tabaxi in the area, and that they're running something out of that restaurant. So in the HUD, it says from notes, Zephyr notes, break in at night, See what you can find and case the joint out. See what it has to do. If it leads you to it, try and figure out if you can like make some money from this. I mean, fuck, if you steal from the register, who gives a shit? But basically, Zephyr writes a note at the bottom. Don't tell Frank this, but the tabaxi had blue eyes. That's like a note just for you. And then Frank comes back in. Who the fuck you talking to? Loud as hell in my fucking house. What's going on?
Frank, if you would shut the fuck up for 5 minutes, we got a job now.
We got a job? He suddenly,
bro.
like, his demeanor fully changes as he clop, 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 clop up to you. We got a fucking job?
Yeah, let me show you. So I pull it up on my tablet. I kind of like open up the tablet. You just see kind of sharing the blueprints of the restaurant.
Wait a second. I know this joint. That's Ollie's. Why the fuck? What are you going to do there?
You want the job or not?
I mean, we're kind of desperate, but man. All right, fuck it. Let's knock him off.
All right, listen. There's been a tabaxi sighting, gray fur, all right? And he's up to some sketchy shit.
He's moving product?
If you know what I'm saying, we got to go case the place and see what's going on.
If we can get our hands on that product, we could afford a whole new place. We could buy a house.
That's what I'm saying.
But, Bree, we're not going to be able to go together. This neighborhood is packed. It's going to have to be low key.
Understood. But family first. I got your back.
Family first. All right. He like ruffles your hair. You hate when he fucking does that. Like, because it makes it like frizzy. Like it makes it like puff up.
Come on, man. I just got it right behind the horns perfectly.
Yeah. But all right, Bree. This is what, by the way, the significance of this. You've never been allowed to go on a mission by yourself yet. So you can tell he's internally struggling. All right. Me and the boys, your brothers, we got another thing we got to take care of. Are you sure you can handle this?
You could trust me. I got this.
That's not in question. Just be safe, okay?
But, Father, when am I not safe?
All right. Fucking get out of here. Go make us some money or something useful before I have to turn tricks on the fucking street with you. And he just walks away.
No one would pay for that shit.
I don't know, man. You got some lolly vibes, so I think somebody fucking would. Fucking, there's some nasty ass fucking people out there, I'm sure. So as you leave your house, air quotes around your house, you exit through the door, which is not a door. It's a plank that looks like it's covering the door, but half of it, like you guys like took the nails out so you can push it open and slink through the door. As you exit into the street, it's like 3:30 in the morning. So everyone on the street right now is either someone looking to score, someone who already did score, or someone who's got nowhere to go. But because you're on the south side, that means it's pretty packed, busy streets. And as you type the nav point into your interface, in the augmented reality of your interface, you can see on the ground arrows pointing you in the direction that you need to go through your neural implant. So as you're following them, it's only about a 20-minute walk from...
Question.
Yeah.
Is Ollie's open for business right now?
Quick,
like as a restaurant?
A quick network search would show no. They usually close around 2. Hell yeah. As you start walking, you're looking at the schematic of the building. The back of the building has a door that seems to be like behind a dumpster, So it's pretty easy to access without being seen. The front of the building has the main entrance, and it's facing kind of like a wide open kind of a section of street. A little less ideal. A little more lighting there. As you are like kind of approaching, you see there's a couple, like a group of dudes like all huddled around barrel fire, typical barrel fire, as they look up and see you walking. And one of the dudes, let me see race here. Let's do Owlin, because that's rare. You see an Owlin guy sitting with a couple of one Furbolg, so he's real big hairy dude, and one half goblin, so short, big ears, sharp teeth, and they're all kind of just like looking as you pass. And the Owlin sets like a whistle through his beak. What's a pretty goat like you doing out on a night like this?
I'm sorry. I'm just going home. Minding my own business.
Oh, well, it's not safe out here at night. Would you like us to escort you?
No, I'm okay. I'm meeting my dad, actually. He's right around the corner.
You see the Owlin's head like tick one way then the other. Oh, don't be like that. Let us take you home. The Furbolg starts like kind of like stepping up. He's 7 foot tall, fucking just massive. Come on.
I said no fucking thank you.
You want to roll intimidation? I'll give you advantage on that.
13 was the highest.
I rolled a 12. So the bird or the Owlin just kind of like, oh shit. All right, guys. She's from the streets, guys. Let's leave her to that. I'm not dealing with that. As the Furbolg. But Frankie, how are we gonna get our boost if we don't? And he just kind of looks at him like, shut up. We'll head on over to Ollie's later and we'll pick some up. You know he's good for it. Okay. As they all kind of like slump back over to the fire, the half goblin just like looks at you and just as you flinch back at him, because the audio podcast, they can't see you do that. As you continue walking down the street, a little bit, less like you were never afraid to begin with, but like confidence booster. As you turn the corner, you start to see Ollie's come into view. Problem. The data you got must be old. Because this Ollie's, the back door, it's gone. Along with the entire second half of the restaurant. It's just covered in a big plastic sheet. Like the plastic you put over windows in the winter? It's just covered in that plastic. That's the only thing keeping it out of the back.
That's not inconspicuous at all.
Yeah. Also, several of the windows are boarded, as if freshly boarded, as if the windows had just been broken recently. But other than that, there's only a few people on the street, kind of just minding their own business. If you want to do a perception check, I'll tell you if you notice anything.
That's fair. I was gonna do an investigation for danger, but that perception is fine.
Yeah, perception is to see if there's a chance of danger. Investigation is to see what that danger would be.
12.
Besides your average tweaker and booster, which boosters are people who heavily use boost, which is a drug in Irish.
I read yeah.
Nice. So as you you see a couple boosters here and there. The only really annoying part is it looks like in the back of the building, one of them is asleep right around the area that you would kind of sneak yourself into.
What is the general behavior of a booster?
When they're on boost, they are very energetic, very their endurance is boosted, so they're very like fucking quick and hard to keep down, but there's no violent tendencies really, unless they're trying to be violent. Like, it depends on the person more.
What if they're fiending for it?
If they're fiending for it, the boost is the worst out of all of the drugs. So the chances of someone trying to hurt you to get money to get boost, or trying to hurt you to get boost, is a lot higher than any of the other drugs.
Okay, and you said there's just a guy sleeping?
Yeah. Which, I mean, if you know anything about boost, probably not.
Yeah, he's not on it.
Probably not on it if he's asleep.
All right, then yeah, I'm gonna stick to kind of the shadows, if there's shadows like by the building.
Nighttime,
but yeah, I'm gonna make my way over toward where the sleepy man is to see if I can get closer to the building.
As you cross the street, which there are a couple cars will go down. It's still traffic, but not anything crazy. The crisp like night air kind of fills your lungs. It's a little smoggy, but nothing compared to where you've been before. In fact, the air here is better than what you grew up in by a solid measure. As you are kind of crossing the street, you see the sky in the block is permanently overcast. It's just always overcast. The pollution from the lower floors meets the augmented weather from the top floors, and it creates this just cloudy overcast. The blinking lights of the bottom of the floor above you just being the only thing kind of shining through it. As nighttime settles, sometimes the clouds kind of lower, and it creates like a smog effect in the area. As you approach through the shadows, roll me stealth.
13.
13?
Mm-hmm.
As you approach the building stealthily, tiptoeing on your little hooves so they don't click-clack on the asphalt.
Well, I'm wearing jelly shoes.
Come again?
I told you, I have jelly shoes.
Did you tell me during this recording?
No.
So then assume the information that needs to be shared is shared with someone who knows nothing about you. And actually, this would be a good
Okay, then never mind. I'll buy jelly shoes later, I guess.
Well, you can have jelly shoes. I'm just saying you have to tell the audience that you have that. But this would be a great time to give us a little character description.
Yeah, so Brikka is very, well-dressed. I am an apologist satyr, so I kind of keep my hair nice and neat, even though now that Frank has messed it up, it is less neat. But I'm kind of dressed like a librarian, but I am a satyr, so I have no pants. But
the fact that he has very much stated over and over again.
Yes, I am a satyr. I have no pants, but I'm wearing like a tunic length shirt. It's a button down. It's very high collared with the ruffles on the top. I always have a pair of red rimmed glasses, and they are connected. They have like a chain on them so that I can take them off and put them around my neck.
You librarian, you.
Yes, very, very librarian of me. And I have black jelly shoes. So these are made from, is it microfiber? What's the
synth material?
Yeah, whatever the synthetic, like a plasticky type of material. But I have shoes that cover my hooves so that it doesn't clack.
Are you wearing Crocs?
It's not Crocs. It's not Crocs.
It's just Crocs adjacent.
They're jellier. Like Crocs are
More
too
plastic.
Yeah.
So these are like you know those stress toys where like that has the sparkling water inside and you squeeze it and then so it's like that material.
Yeah.
But Crocs.
Well, they just basically are fitted to my hooves. I guess yeah.
So do they make a noise?
No, because they're like harder.
Oh, so they make no noise.
They shouldn't make. I mean, they make the noise of like anything, like a pair of shoes that has plastic soles.
Okay.
Like, yeah.
Okay. I've heard that a lot. I've been in the hospital a lot lately. Everyone there wears those.
Yeah.
So as you are, I almost said squishing again. As you are trotting across the street, you have now reached the back of Ollie's, where there appears to be scorch marks on the ground, like where a dumpster appears to have once been. But now it's just this guy sleeping. The plastic is literally, you can see through it. It's covering the restaurant, but you can, like, it's not blocking entry at all from the restaurant.
Yeah, I'm gonna take a peek. Just kind of open it slightly to see if I can push it to the side without making too much noise.
That's a stealthy.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Damn, sucks. 7.
You hear, like, as you're pulling it to the side, just like crinkling of plastic. And then you hear as the guy you're standing over technically right now stirs in his sleep, kind of closes his eyes back, falls back asleep. That was close. But you now have enough space to peek inside.
Yes, I will survey the area.
The restaurant is a mess. Besides the obvious getting blown up, the kitchen itself would not pass any modern day inspection standards. And the actual, like, behind the counter, because it's like a counter, a little bit of space, and then the kitchen is the back wall. So it's like an open kitchen. You can watch whoever's cooking cook. And as you look, you see a small computers in this world. They're not monitors. They're just a frame. So it looks like almost like a pane of thin glass in a silvery like frame. And you use your augmented neural implant, augment reality to interface with the computers. So it's kind of like, you know, your tablet, but more general use. And then you see one of the tables is missing next to a window that was clearly broken. And you see in horror blood stains splattering the checkered black and white floor, just on the floor, in the middle of the floor and on the wall. It does look like someone was attempting to clean it.
Do I hear anything?
That, my friend, would be an investigation roll. Are you listening for danger? Are you listening for self-preservation?
I'm listening for danger. I'm listening. I want to hear if I can, because this looks like a horror show.
So, yeah,
Going
someone
on.
definitely died.
So I want
The
to
amount
make
of
sure
blood-
that the person that committed this atrocity is not in the general vicinity.
Love that. Hell yeah. Investigation, and you can add your +2 bonus.
Yeah, so I rolled a 10, so 12.
From what you can see inside, the blood on the walls looks flaky, like it's been drying. And the entire inside is like dark, like the lights have been shut off. The only reason you can even see inside it at all is because half the wall is missing and the lights from the street are kind of pouring into it. But it's dark, like as if nobody was in there. And as you listen, you don't really hear a peep except for the soft snoring of the man sleeping beneath you.
Okay, then I want to step in.
As you push the plastic to the side and step into the restaurant, it hits you immediately the smell of pennies, iron, blood, and then a hint of bleach, like someone's trying to scrub this place. Did you just cross your eyes? What the fuck was that? you're in it, I guess. You just did an egg yolk face for fucking bleach. Okay, that's all you.
But you know my character, so
That's true. That's true. Hey, not judging, just God. So as you step into the restaurant, you notice okay, there's a freezer on your immediate left, a big fridge a little bit farther down on your left, and then a huge grill with cupboards underneath it. Then on your right is a large counter that looks like has little to-go containers and a synthesizer underneath it for synthesizing food and drinks. And then it does have a bar, air quotes around bar, by the way. It has a couple taps that look like someone built it out of copper wiring or copper piping. So now that you're fully in, the plastic shuts behind you. What do you do?
I'm going to approach the computer.
As you approach the computer, you notice that it's covered in what can only be described as a smattering of grease and grime. Like it's like peeling on the edges. But it is a computer. Fortunately, to turn on an electronic, you would either need a biometric code just to turn it on. Not to unlock it, just to turn it on. Like it's like you put your thumb on it and it turns on. Or something that allows you to turn electronic devices on without doing that.
I want to cast Spark.
How do you want it to look?
So basically, I'm going to put one finger because this thing is nasty. So I'm just going to put one finger on onto the device.
Mm.
And then you're just going to see the tip of my finger just glow and light up and hopefully, if it works, emanate through the device.
As it leaves your finger, the glow kind of moves to the center of the screen and starts spreading as the screen comes to life in your neural implant. And you see a password protected, it literally just says, "Welcome, Tom." THOM. Password. And it's just blinking, waiting for you. You can try and guess the password. You can hack it. You can look around to see if you can find a clue to the password.
That's what I was going to do. Okay, so is this computer at a desk of some sort?
No, it's at the counter, but underneath the counter is like a cupboard.
Okay, yeah, I want to ruffle through, see if I can find any loose something with numbers or letters on it.
Investigation, please. You do not get your +2 because this has nothing to do with danger.
Right. 21.
Can you do something for me? With a 21, you're rummaging through. It's a lot of fucking garbage, just fucking crumpled up papers, stupid shit. But you find a garbage bin. And inside the garbage bin, you find a crumpled up piece of paper and a crumpled up, what looks to be yellow Post-it note sitting right on top. The most fresh pieces of garbage. That's all that's under here.
Okay, let's open up that Post-it note.
As you go to grab the Post-it note, you do also notice that the piece of paper that is next to it has blood on it, or at least a dark substance that looks like blood. As you grab the Post-it note and you open it, on that Post-it note are at least 20 different passwords. It literally says password this, crossed out. Password this, crossed out. Password this. But the thing about it every single one of these is the most basic fucking thing that you've ever. So one of them was Ollie's 123. Another one was just password. So these like are the worst. The last one that's crossed out on there was burgers 123 crossed out. The only food item with your 21 investigation that seems to be missing from this fucking menagerie is like fries.
Yeah, I'm going to type in fries. Fries 123.
Ding. Welcome, Tom. And you just see like Ollie's logo in the back, and you see a picture of this really nice looking human man from what appears to be it. You see the date in the bottom corner. It says 5047, which is literally 50 years, 50 like 40 something odd years from where you are right now. It's 5092. So that picture's not recent, but he's standing in front of Ollie's, like thumbs up. He has a name tag that says Tom on it. That's his background. On there, you see 3 icons. Number 1, it says the books. Number 2, it says the cams. And number 3, it says unknown.
I'm going to open up the cams if I can.
Absolutely. It opens up a shit ton of files, all dated with timestamps. It does every 12 hours. It'll upload itself. So they're 12-hour videos each.
So from what I know, and the blood seemed to be somewhat dry, but not fully dry. So I want to check the videos in the last 48 hours. So the last.
Oh yeah. Do you want to start
videos.
as far back as you can, or do you want to start as recent as you can?
Yeah, as far back. So let's go
48 hours ago.
Yeah.
You're looking in and you see a bunch of people coming in and out. You see a bunch of the one thing that is very different at this time, the back of the restaurant seems to be intact. Like it seems to be fine.
2 days ago? Okay.
Yeah. And you see Tom kind of a much fatter and much more depressed looking. There's no sound to these videos, just so or at least to this particular video. As it's just kind of like a menagerie of just fucking people eating and whatever. Tom will cough every once in a while. As you're fast forwarding through the video, nothing of note happens until the last bit of that 12 hours when it's getting towards like the nighttime and a giant explosion. Like literally you just watch the screen grow really bright and then a bunch of debris fall into the restaurant. And then Tom come in the door from smoking a cigarette, going like this. What the? Freaking the fuck out on the camera. And then that recording ends and starts the next recording, which is that night, which is him cleaning for a full 12 hours.
Right.
So
I am going to skip to the next night.
As you skip over to the next night, during the day, as you're fast forwarding, you notice there's a weird amount of like, there's nobody coming through the restaurant, but there seems to be like strange characters who are coming in and out. Just strange people. You saw a Giftera. You saw a Ursar man. But right as you see, okay, if you want me to be fucking fully, you see a Giftera, a half elf, a Ursar, a wild Ursar, who am I forgetting? Owlin. All of these, and they all come in at different times, and they all stay for a very short amount of time and do some weird shit.
Is it the Owlin that I already came across?
Definitely not. This one looks way taller and more like clean and very well put together.
Okay.
That being said, the Ursar is the first of note that makes you stop and pause. As you watch, you see him sitting there by himself, and then people come in and start like trickling in one at a time. And the whole thing, you can tell, is it stinks. It stinks to high. If you were that Ursar, you're like, get out of there, dude. What the fuck are you doing? And then you see it. The door opens. First thing that catches your attention, even through the grayscale of this camera, his eyes, bright blue. As the Tabaxi man walks in and starts talking to the Ursar. All of a sudden, quick as can be, the Ursar picks up the table and yeets it through the window, climbing out after it, trying to run. You see the Tabaxi man take his time, pull out a large revolver, and point it out the window. After 3 count, he pulls the trigger and calmly steps out of the window. A few minutes go by, and then he comes back, tells Tom something. Tom, yeah. And then he leaves. And then you watch Tom proceed to start cleaning things up. He steps outside the window, and he comes back with what looks to be a crumpled piece of paper in his hand. As he doesn't look at it, opens the cupboard, drops it in, closes the cupboard. That's the end of that video.
Okay, I want to open up the piece of paper in the garbage.
As you open it, at the very top of the piece of paper, it says classified, union official, has an NFA logo on it. As you start to look at the contents of the paper, it is what appears to be a cover note to a report. The report stating 3 years. Only 3 years until Iris Luna runs out of oxygen because the plants are not producing it anymore. As you're reading it, you can't help but get the feeling this is something you should not be seeing. The immediate threat to your life would trigger every single survivor instinct you have. What do? You still have one more video to watch.
I use instant upload.
Hell yeah. So you upload the document in all of its data, just that piece of paper, because that's all that's there.
Yep.
It's saved. You hear a little doo-doo, file saved in your augment, in your implant is what I meant.
Perfect. Let's watch the next video.
You put the piece of paper back?
Yeah, that paper gets crumpled as close to how I found it as possible and put right back where I found it.
So you open another video for the second half of that 12 hours. And Tom has cleaned the whole restaurant. Nothing seems kind of out of the ordinary. And then a very large tiefling man walks in. And him and Tom have kind of what looks like to be a heated kind of spat. And then the tiefling man sits down. You see Tom brings him a glass of water. And you see the tiefling man grab the water, and the water just starts boiling as he takes a sip. Then you see Tom bring him a steak. The rarest steak you've ever seen. And you see the tiefling man pick it up and start cooking it in his hand as he's eating it. Not a weird thing for a tiefling to do. They're pretty good with fire. But then it starts to get weird. 2 people enter the restaurant, pretty scruffy, and they sit kind of far away from the tiefling. They look inconspicuous, but you notice on one of them a badge, a star badge. Free agency. Okay. Interesting, but not uncommon. It is the block. They do share. The weird thing is when a union member walks in. An officer, clearly a union officer, has the union fucking bulletproof vest on with the badge. And the union and the free agency do not get along yet. This man sits down at the table with the free agency, talking to them like they're old friends. Then you see the big tiefling man get up to leave. And just before he makes it out the door, again, that tabaxi. He stands in the way of the tiefling man. As they talk in hushed tones, eventually the tiefling man moves to the side, allowing the tabaxi to enter, who promptly murders the two FAF agents where they sit. And you can see the blood on the wall.
The union officer is okay, or?
The union officer is fine. He's running. He runs right into the tiefling man, who holds out his hand, stopping the union man from leaving. After a quick discussion between the union man and the tiefling lets the union man pass. And you watch as the tabaxi takes out a long string, and on either side are two large balls, the size of like a bocce ball. And he starts spinning it over his head. It's called a bolo. And you hear whoo, 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 as he whips it out the door. A couple seconds later, he drags the union man back into the restaurant, on the floor, and puts a bullet in his head. And you can even see on the ground where that happened. Then the tiefling man and the tabaxi talk for a little longer. The tabaxi shakes his head as he lifts his revolver right between the tiefling man's eyes and pulls the trigger. The tiefling man drops to one knee. He's a resilient fuck. He's still like, as he's looking at his hands, looking at the tabaxi, falls to the ground. The tabaxi looks around. You see him touch his temple, which is a universal sign that he's using his implant. He talks for a second, nods. Then over the course of the next 3 hours, as you fast forward, a cleaning crew comes through, unmarked, unnamed, and they start disposing of the bodies. The only one left is the tiefling. A woman comes in. Trying to think of a race I haven't used yet. A Vidalcan woman. So she's bald, blue skin, pointy ears, long pointy ears. And she's holding her hands together with all of her fingertips touching. Like she's like super smart. And she looks at the tiefling and she kneels down. And it's the weirdest thing. She strokes his hair. Says something to the other two, and they take the tiefling and they put him somewhere else. The other ones were just disposed of into the back of a truck. They take the tiefling away. The restaurant's empty. You see Tom on his hands and knees trying to scrub the blood out of the floor. Until you stop the fast forwarding. Is that a Githrak? A Githrak man enters the restaurant, looking at Tom, yelling something loud enough to be picked up by the cameras. Where is it? Where is it? I will kill all of you if you do not return to me what is mine. Tom, I don't know what you did. He's scrambling backwards. You hear him mumbling something. Where is the stone? He echoes through the entire restaurant. Tom literally just fucking, you see a puddle just coming out from under him as he's just, the Githrak man. You see him take pity on Tom as he turns to leave the restaurant. The last thing that happens is he stops and looks directly at the camera for a long second and then walks out of the door. And the recording ends with Tom going up to it and going, fuck, and turning the camera off. That is the last recording.
So at this point, Brikka just pulls her glasses to the middle of her nose, looking over the top of them. A stone. Interesting.
Phone starts ringing.
Answer it. Like,
hey, sweetheart. You hear Frank's voice over the. Did you finish the job?
Fuck it. Nah, man. I'm. Oh.
Brikka!
I'm right in the middle of it. Chill.
It was supposed to be simple smash and grab. We need you.
Frank. If you need me, you gotta tell me. I need to know the plan.
Brikka, no, we need you now. He starts cutting. This fucking gift rack guy, he just cutting in and out. I don't know what the fuck's going on. The line dies.
So I take a quick look. Is there anything like cash register, anything around?
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's not a cash register, but since you're in the computer, there is a unit storage where they store the units on because it's safer than keeping it on your own personal.
Yeah. Let's see. Do I need to hack into that?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay. Let's.
That's a hacking roll.
Yeah.
With your goddamn +4. You have been rolling like shit.
Oh, I just rolled a nat 20.
This is why the DM should never say anything. This is why the universe provides. Yeah, you go to interface with it and it says, please enter password. And it shows like how many digits, and there's only 3. And you go
1, 2, 3.
No way, right? 1, 2, 3. You see he has about 80 mics sitting in the
This fucking idiot. Transfer.
As you transfer the mics to your tablet first, then to your neural, as to not leave a paper trail to your neural link, you close the computer down, and as you turn, you notice that one of the on the back, like up against the where the freezer was, it has a bloody handprint on it, like somebody had opened it.
The freezer?
Yes. You didn't see it coming in because it's on the side that, as you look back at it, it's on the side that you can see now.
Ooh, yeah, I'm just going to go and take a peek.
As you open the freezer, there's at least 80 vials of boost.
How?
On the street? You want to roll history to see if you know what drugs go for?
Yeah. Come on, baby. 12.
With a 12, the last time you heard anything about boost, you could probably, a single shot of boost will run you 10 mics. That's $10.
How big are these vials? Is it something I can carry easily?
Not 80 of them, but they're essentially,
I mean.
so like imagine let's say like a 2-ounce bottle.
All right, let's grab 20.
20?
Yeah.
You're going to be jingling, just so you know.
Jingling?
Yeah. Because they're in the kind of glass-ish, so they clink to clack together, and you don't have a backpack of any kind. There were to-go containers, but you still have to carry them.
Right, and they'd still be clinking. I will grab a to-go container, and I'll do 10.
Hell yeah. That's $100. That gets you good. As you put the vials in and close the freezer, do you exit? Which way do you exit?
Not through the way that I came.
As you start walking, it occurs to you. You just looked at the cameras. You just looked at the camera feed. As you walk to the front door, you had a clear view of that front door with the camera. Now, you could be paranoid because you did watch Tom turn the camera off. You look up to where the camera is, and it's looking right at you with a red light on. Fuck. Well, I mean, what are you going to do? Are you going to erase it? What are you going to do?
How much time would that take?
That would take some hacking.
Nah, let's go.
Pull
Frank.
your collar up just a little bit so it covers your chin, and you keep walking out the door. As you make it out into the street, I need a perception check.
17.
You walk out, and like I said before, everyone that is on the street at this time of night is trying to buy some, already got some, or sleeping. But they're all gone. As you kind of like start walking into the dark, you see a solitary figure standing in the distance. Tall and lean, but you can't really make out any features because of the shadows. But he's directly in front of you. So, I mean, you didn't even come from that direction, so you could just go another direction. You don't have to go that direction.
Yeah, I'm going to avoid him if I can.
So you turn around, you start walking back towards the direction that you had originally come from. Correct?
Mm-hmm.
As you get around to the back of the restaurant, the guy that was sleeping, he's missing. And as you look up, in the street that you had come from, standing, shadowy, tall figure.
Yeah, I guess we're going to continue the road.
So you start walking down the street away from both of the figures. A car is driving. Again, not weird because the city never sleeps. What is weird is it stops in the middle of the street. Its headlights pointed directly at you. Two figures get out of the car. There's only one more direction you can go. Alleyway to the north. Try and duck into the alley and see if you can lose him. That's it. That's all you got.
Yeah, let's go.
So you take off. Start, at this point, dispelling any illusions of trying to not look scared.
I'm not blending in anymore. Like, I'm just booking it as fast as I can.
As you head down the alleyway, take a left, take a right, take a left. You're just running through these alleyways. You know your way around pretty well because you don't go anywhere unless you map it out first. As you come to the alleyway that's supposed to exit you, probably the closest to your safe house that you could get from this weird way that you've taken. Almost sure that you've lost them because it's been 20 minutes of you running through these alleyways. A tall figure stands blocking your way.
Who the fuck?
You turn around and try and go back into the alleyways. Standing there, looking at you with burning hatred in his eyes. The Githrak that you saw in the video. You. Where is it?
Excuse me, but what are you looking for?
He gets closer to you. The stone. Where is it?
What stone would that be?
You want to roll deception?
Yeah.
For the audience listening, it's because she definitely knows what stone he's talking about.
I got a dirty 20.
I got a 13. You see that he has blood on his hands as he reaches out and grabs you by the face. Then, you are no use to me. He starts lifting you by your face. You dirty, disgusting disgusting satyrs. You stole it from me, and I will find it. He starts squeezing extremely hard. It feels like your throat is constricting as he
If
starts to choke
if
you.
you're looking for something, I could probably help.
What could a low-form life like yours ever do to help me?
I'm pretty good at getting information.
He lets go. That's all you are good for. Worthless scum. Now, tell me, who has my stone?
Well, currently I don't know, but I can help you find out.
Yes, we will do this. He looks up at the figure behind you, and he goes, Cha. He turns around and starts walking into the alleyway, the darkness kind of cloaking him. You cannot believe the close call that you just had. Like, you stand up and, like, the blood from his hands is, like, smeared on your face. And you can only hope to God this is not your family. As you start kind of timidly following the man, you feel a sharp pain in your shoulder as a hand grabs your shoulder.
Ow.
Sorry, I just got like a crazy, I don't know what that was, but your sound just made that. It's fine. As the hand squeezes tightly, you turn to look and you see a Githrak woman who is covered from, you know how some people get those tattoos right under their jawline? Like their entire fucking throat, just her entire throat covered in tattoos, her arms covered in tattoos. The tattoos show Githrak killing a bunch of fucking different people, like other fucking races. You just see it's like a fucking homage to all of the killing that she's done in her life. The scars just running ragged down her arms. As you turn to look at her, and you see in her eyes, cold, dead. As she reaches out, grabs one of your horns, and begins to pummel you. The first strike hurts, but it's the second strike that really does it. As you feel the bones in your face start to break, she keeps punching, and she does not stop until you see nothing but a blurry vision that's slowly fading as your heartbeat starts to slow and leak out onto the gravel beneath you as you succumb to the darkness. But it's not cold or scary. It feels like you're falling, but slowly, being cradled by something else. In this darkness, there's no Frank, there's no money, there's no bills, there's no stone. It's just you. A small white light starts to appear in the distance. It grows larger and larger and larger until it fully encompasses you. You're no longer falling. You're standing in just complete nothingness of white. Until you hear a voice from behind you. Hello there. You turn. You see a tall, handsome elf man with jet black hair cascading down his shoulders. sitting on nothing, swirling a glass of red wine as he takes a sip. Please, join me. Snap, and you're standing right in front of him. A glass appears in your hand. What's your drink of choice?
Milk?
Interesting. The glass starts to fill with milk. 2 ice cubes, if I remember correctly.
How would you know that?
I observe things. It's what I do. The 2 ice cubes drop, thick enough so that you can still chew them at the end. I know you, Brikka. I've been watching you.
May I ask, who are you?
I am simply... I am. But you can call me the Observer. How are you feeling, Brikka?
Well, currently, just a bit confused. Also, a little bit on the warm side.
Oh, that's new. I haven't felt temperature in a millennia. What's it feel like?
Kind of like eating stardust, if I had to compare it to anything, I guess. Imaginary.
He's smiling at you like, you see, like, he's almost proud. You always have a way with words, Brikka. That's one of the things that I love about you. But, alas, as much as I would love to spend eternity talking about stardust and drinking milk, it's time for you to wake up. As he says wake up, you hear wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Darkness, but not the same as before. This darkness is cold, rigid, and it feels pain. Almost like being thrust from a warm pool of, being thrust from like a warm hot tub right into an ice cold pool. As you hear, because you can't see, it's still darkness, but you hear beep, 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 and you hear a woman's voice. Oh my God, we did it! We fucking did it! And that is where I will end your session 0.
We together.
Hey, if you like what you heard, please head over to our link tree at linktr.ee/we2gaming. That's the number 2, we2gaming. If you head on over there, you can find all of the places that we are on the internet, as well as our burgeoning community over on Discord at We Together Gaming at Discord. You can also find us on Patreon for tons of exclusive content, behind the scenes, favorite moments, as well as We Squared, the companion podcast to this podcast, where we discuss all things We Together, Iris Luna, and this campaign. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you next time.